Yeah.
And
that headroom is fucking amazing.
Is my favorite thing in the world. And I was like, it was like hexadecimal because she couldn't change her emotion without changing the mask.
Yeah.
And instead of a mask, it was her fucking head. And so she had a room of heads.
That's right.
And I was just like,
that whole movie is pretty amazing. The wheelies.
I fucking loved it.
Oh, I know.
I'm fucking
That
terrified.
movie freaked my shit out.
Say hello, Internet.
Hello, Internet.
Hello, Internet.
Rabbit.
Okay.
Alright.
She's curled up behind my screen.
So-
You can't see it here, but
We're channeling her through something.
that's right.
Like, I've watched Return to Oz as an adult, and it still freaks my shit out. Like, not nearly as badly.
That movie is
Like, but
No,
it's
it's
like,
got a lot of. It's got a lot of.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I love reading the weird Oz books.
I've actually never read any of the.
Right.
I read like a bunch of them at one point because they were like, they were basically free because they were public domain, I guess.
Yeah.
There was just a big old set of them, and I was like, I'm just gonna read these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll devour this!
No, that movie is pretty choice. And you're like, you know what you're doing in the movie because like that scene didn't need to be there,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know.
but it's there.
You
and,
didn't need to.
and I really wanted to walk through the room with all the emerald shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I want the whole room.
Oh yeah.
I also want to touch the shit that belonged to me. I want to touch all the shit. Take it all home.
Now take all these heads. I already have one, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I
I'll
want
take
all,
these ones
I
anyway.
want all the other heads too.
I want to mix and match.
Yes. Wardrobe, everyone.
Nice.
Does that? Should just do it the once.
Dude.
So I just spent like 15 minutes looking through my phone for my character sheet because I remember transferring it to my phone.
And
Figured out.
Top all along.
What was that? Holy shit.
It was on the top all along.
It was on my desktop,
Yeah.
Oh.
like of the computer I'm sitting in front of right now.
Oh.
It was on the top all along, but like spoopy. That's what.
Nice.
The word of the night is spooky.
Jason has left
You
us.
spook yourself.
Sometimes, you know, as you get on in age,
Wow.
that becomes harder.
Okay.
So what are we doing?
You crit yourself and they're spooked in your pants.
That's right.
What is happening?
Oh no, we started in a bad
It
way.
was like, I don't know,
tonight.
but it's happening.
We started in a bad way tonight. It was before the internet came on even.
Yeah.
Yeah. People, if anyone's listening to this, they know what they're here for.
Yeah, I know what's going on.
You're here for the spoop? Alright.
We're not doing it live anymore though. I mean, it's live, obviously, but
I'm not going to spook on camera.
We need more subscribers for that.
Yeah, we need some Patreon. Like we gotta do a budget for
That's
it.
a higher tier
yeah.
Patreon content.
Higher tier. That's an unlockable.
Yeah, can't get that shit for free.
That's right. The defeat stuff
there
and
will be no speaking.
sorry,
Yeah.
the knee stuff we already talked about.
Yeah.
I apologize.
We put out a new spell for the excremancer every month. If you're part of the your shit don't stink tier.
Oh my
Sorry.
I mean, we did coin the phrase sodomancer.
Yeah, that's true.
that's true.
That's true.
That's on my notes. Sodomancer.
Sodomancer. Yeah.
Apparently, I
Welcome.
thought that was important.
Yep.
It also sounds like a character's last name. Like,
Right.
this is Vercelli Sodomancer.
Yep.
I wouldn't have thought of
Bad
it
guy.
that way, but there you go.
Villain.
Bad guy. Villain.
Totally
Yep.
villain.
That's right. This guy's on Brute Squad.
So wait, what are we doing? Are we just? What are we doing? I don't know.
I think we're gonna help Zhenya actually talk to someone.
Oh,
Yeah,
So-
right. Shanya's
I
going
talked to
talk
lots of
some
people.
zombies
Yeah, but no one we care about.
because she needs to talk.
No one we care about.
no
Why
one
are
knows what
you
he cares
talking to
about.
Sonny?
Because he's a Samaritan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a good Samaritan.
Yes.
What was Sarmation?
Might be.
Sarmation.
I don't know. There's too many vowels.
It's Sarmation. Yes.
I'm just like, it's Martians, whatever.
Yeah. It's one of them bitches I need to talk to.
Yes.
Trying to
So
find the lucky feather.
last
I have
session
a
She
lucky
has the
feather.
feather.
That's right.
we did a
Interpret
few
it.
days.
She's
Trying to
able to
find my
fly with
sister.
her ears.
Yeah.
People did things in preparation for the big party. Jimena stole dresses. Acquired dresses, I should say.
I don't think
That's
I
right.
did anything to prepare for it.
No, you did. Like you
I did?
You got fired from your job.
got yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, I got
You
I
started.
prepared by getting fired.
You started
There we
to.
No, you took fencing lessons.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I did.
And learned to use
You
a whip.
also got capital to open an office close to where Inquisitor Mizabi has his practice. You also attended a public introduction of the new Inquisitors.
We attempted to heckle it.
Yeah.
You made it rain.
I'm not sure
Yep.
if it
You
worked
made
or
a storm
not.
happen, and
Yes.
then we heckled.
Inquisitor.
I was hoping
Juarez.
for much more of like the people in the air to be like, "Oh my god!" Like, but never mind. That's okay.
Yeah, because Juarez had the big, we're gonna clean up the streets
Yep.
speech.
Also, we had a fucking Fate Witch helping him.
Yeah.
Cheater.
Cheater.
We're the only ones who can cheat. Come on.
A less enlightened individual might say, like a bitch.
Yeah. That's right. Fate bitch.
Yeah.
It's Sarmatian. Or Sarmatian. Sarmartian.
Yep.
Sarmatian.
I'm just gonna say they're Martians.
Yep.
M-A-T.
Start with
I-A-N.
Sar.
Yeah, Sarmation.
Yeah, so they got stars. They're a Sar Commonwealth. And good luck pronouncing what they're the king of, because it's R-Z-E.
Oh yeah. There's a pronunciation guide.
C-Z.
Yeah, you have to read the phonetics, otherwise it's.
Yeah, well, it doesn't say how to pronounce that at all. It just says it's commonly known as R-Z-E-P-L-I-T-A.
But,
It's
Um,
introduced somewhere.
It says the Parliament. It says same for the JM, so that's handy.
I think it's like.
I thought that said hefty bees for a moment, and I was like,
Yeah,
that's
it's
an interesting
something
export.
like that. There's
Because the RZ, I don't think you actually pronounce the
Mm.
first Z.
No.
It's like that's how like Johnny Resnick spells his last name, but you don't call him Resnick.
Resesnik.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I
you
will
should.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can ask Carolina, she's Polish.
So yes, Genya, Rethold, and Evine started to collect information at the party grounds by
oh, there was an elephant. I remember
ingraining
the elephant.
themselves
Yeah.
with the crew.
Yes.
Genya made a
It
friend.
is an elephant.
Yes.
It was an elephant.
And his
And
name
by
is
the end of the
Eli.
week, she's gonna learn how to morph into it. So
It's like animals.
Yes.
that's right.
We've become friends.
So now I imagine the book cover with Genya morphing into an
Well, there
elephant.
is one with an elephant.
Rachel turning into an
Yeah,
elephant.
there is one with an elephant.
So
Not gonna lie, I was up till like 3 a.m. last night because I was going through Wikipedia and reading the synopsis of every single Animorphs book. Because
Amanda.
this bitch
Yeah, I saw
brought
it.
up Animorphs on Facebook, then I was like,
She's pointing at the
and
laptop.
I never finished the series, and I was trying to remember where I left off on, and then I was like, but how did it end? And then
I saw the book
It
cover that
ends
she
in the movie
posted,
we
so the
wanna
moment
see.
you said that, I knew exactly what the trigger was.
Yep. I liked Animorphs, I just never finished it. I think I'm up to like number 20.
My sister
I
read
heard it got real
every
depressing,
one,
not surprisingly.
and has read them all.
Now I kind of want to.
Like in the last, year?
No, when they were being released,
Oh, okay.
she feverishly purchased them as they were being released and read them. So
I mean,
she
thankfully
will,
they're like $2 books.
she still has them all on display in her curio cabinet.
Hey, we all gotta have our accomplishments.
Do it.
I don't have any space though.
Exactly.
That was the hard part.
Just coming from the library, although all of those kids' books are getting super fucked up. Thrown away. Anyway.
All right. So, we are now, I believe, 3 days in the party. I think 2. Night 3.
Do we know where Nzavi's office is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep,
Cool.
I'm not going to know exactly where it is.
that's where I'm setting up.
Just
Or
go
right
for a
next-
walk then.
Going for a walk.
No time like the present.
I'm always going for walks.
Yeah, let's go for another of your infamous walks. Hopefully with slightly less distrust of Javier on this one.
Wait, are we ruling
Xavier
out
is,
together
is,
or what?
is still in the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free.
Sorry.
I'm not
He
gonna
keeps saying it like that, so I'm saying Xavier is
Xavier
still in the
is
wind.
Still
Javi.
missing. That's right. Xavier.
Yeah, I'm like,
Javier.
I'm connecting
Xavier.
two
Sorry, Xavier.
accents. It's just like,
Well, I mean,
Xavier, no.
This is the game where we just.
even I would call him Javier.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, we butcher accent.
Well, we
I feel like
just-
James
God, I
is
can't even do English apparently. Shit.
Neither can I.
Learn.
I couldn't earlier. I kept combining words together.
I'm gonna conjunct the shit out of this.
I'll count down words.
Okay, stop trying to scare you.
I'm not gonna like join her for the conversation, but I'm definitely gonna roll in with her.
That's true.
So yeah, we're like, yeah, let's go for a walk.
Okay.
So we all stroll down to go stand in front of.
Did Jenya make it known to everybody that she wanted to talk to this person?
I think.
I don't know.
I think
I'm
you
trying to-
voiced it out loud.
I
or
don't
something.
remember.
I was talking to Madame Salvadora,
Well, you
and I think everyone was just present when we were talking.
found. You also found the crone, but you were on your own.
Yes, but the crone was before Madame
Yeah, I
Salvador.
wasn't
Yeah,
there for
that's
this.
right.
And then we were at Madame Salvadora's, and I was being very pensive, and Salvadora was like, "What's up? You're not being you."
Stop being
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. And then I think that's when it got voiced out loud, and everyone was just present.
Yeah,
So,
she gave
okay.
you. That's right.
Yeah, she
You
told me
talked
where
about
his
that.
office was.
She told you where the office was. She also told you of another Sarmatian that's supposedly coming to town.
Yes, but this is just the one that's currently in town.
Yes.
So,
Wait, I think I'm not supposed to go to this.
and the crone told me to go see this one, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe.
Ah,
The crone.
have my notes.
I know. Well, even if you had
Well, the
your
crone doesn't
notes,
tell you anything
the crone
specific.
doesn't tell you anything
Yeah,
like
it's-
directly.
No.
So
In my brain, she told
Yes.
me go see that
yes,
fucker.
in your brain,
Yeah.
100%. That's what she told you.
Yes. have my notes, John.
I'm not trying to pick on you.
Okay.
Okay, the old lady that works there serves Janya's suit, then takes the feather from her hand to examine it. Then I have the holy man, and the feather will be found where he is.
Yeah. She said the holy men cannot be trusted.
Yeah. I'm like, I knew that, crone. I knew that from the beginning.
That's about all I got about that.
Well, let's go stand outside of Muddy Lena's new shop and go ooh and then you go next door and.
Yeah.
Well,
be
it's
like,
probably more like still a mostly empty storefront.
We
Yes.
can help you set it up.
or
Sure.
not.
I was gonna crow it up.
Alright.
Like Raven. Like I was gonna
Cool.
fuck off and like just show up in his office and be like, "You fucking bird, bitch."
Do
Why
I
not?
have my people yet, though?
When you roll up to the shop, there's 3 ladies waiting for you there. Like in front. Just like looking lost.
They
One
all
of them.
introduce themselves as Jose.
That's right. All 3 of them. One of them looks like
You're all
she's
Juanita.
That's the
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
right. One of them looks a little bit older. There's one that's barely out of teenage years,
Seth, Fina, and Ina.
and a middle-aged lady, and they're sort of all. They're in front of the shop, like not sure whether that's where they're supposed to be.
So I just like pull out my key and I look at them. Can I help you?
The older lady just approaches you. So, are you the owner?
Well, I am now, as of maybe a day or two ago.
Good. We're here to help.
Oh, you were sent by Salvadora.
No.
Oh. Okay. So like,
She basically goes to the other two and it's like, claps her. Come on, there's work to be done.
so I feel like the first day was mostly just let's clean everything.
That's right.
Probably-
Who's there? Who's helping her with this?
I mean, I decided I wasn't.
Are you attending to other tasks?
I actually think that I shouldn't go because I'm trying to keep this whole thing like. I don't want it to be obvious that I'm like with you guys. I guess
You're playing the long con
more or less.
with Mazabi.
Yeah, no, in
So I'll just continue to do that while y'all do that.
yeah, I'd probably go to work at the estate, since it sounds like Virginia's solo missioning that one.
Yeah. So
Or
Virginia,
is she like? If you.
I mean,
right?
you guys can go too, but I had just like, I was gonna go up top and do my tell me your secrets, stupid man. But I mean, you can all go too. I just
Like, attempting to help you, but at any given point, you're probably gonna kick her out. She has no idea what she's doing.
I mean, before we go, we can all stop and talk about it.
That doesn't sound like us.
You just take a snack break and then the snack break lasts forever.
Virginia, you asked for her mother's blessing, and you feel the change. And
I leave my pack with you.
yeah, you are a crow. She left her pack behind.
And
It's
I,
distressing.
Yes, I know. And I take the
I'm
feather
busy.
in my crow's mouth and I flutter up and I sit on the roof and listen for a minute.
There are conversations coming from within between two men.
Nothing I can understand.
They're a little bit further inside the house.
Okay.
There is a window, so if you perch yourself
Yeah.
near the window.
I do so.
All right. So as you do that, you hear a conversation that's primarily related to like church matters. There's like a service that was held recently. It's very long and very boring.
Aren't they all?
Roll me. Well, the conversation is.
Yes.
Like they're going through a long list of details. You almost think you're at mass. But roll me a. How many would supposed to know this?
I was just about to ask you difficulty.
Yes.
I almost gave you a difficulty.
Yes.
White Wolf has ruined us
Yeah.
for all the others.
Okay, well, 3.
Okay.
It's really infuriating because I could have had 6, but I cannot do 15s.
Yeah.
So 3.
It very much tests your patience because
Tapping a claw.
yeah, you're sort of like, will this ever end? And then at some point you're like, are they doing it on purpose?
I'm trying.
Is it
Like
all
you
code?
sort
Is it
you
all
sort
code?
of worry, and then eventually there's a small lull. Almost like all of this was just filler, right? And you hear one of the men ask the other, "No one followed you."
Ah. Stop tapping the claw.
And you hear it. No, I don't think so. They're too busy setting everything up at the Grand Cathedral, getting prepared for this rather large party coming up. You hear a long sort of sigh at that, and it's like, how many missing? And the other man responds, 3 since the beginning of the week. And the other voice responds, do we know where they've been taken? There is a long pause and finally a no, we're still working on it. And the first voice says that is not good enough. We need to know how far this stretches. And the first voice says there's not enough of us. The web is too large, and I think this woman is hindering us.
Oh.
You hear like some shuffling, like somebody is looking like maybe in a trunk or a chest or maybe like a bookshelf. And you hear some paper getting put down and it said, any insight on who she is or what she's doing here? And the other man says, no, they're guarding that quite tightly. Voritelli is all over it. And there's a bit of a pause and says, there's any allies we can count on.
This crow.
And there is like a long pause. And the same voice that asked the question was like, alright, that is answer enough. There's a long sigh and this a sound like somebody's settling in a chair. We'll keep at it. We need to figure out where they're being taken. I feel we're being undermined already. You've seen what happened the other day. It's quite clear who's going to win the public opinion. We can't have that happen. And the other voice basically says, as you say, I will return to the others and we will see where else we can search. And they are the sounds of a door being closed, some footsteps that are starting to come much closer to where you are.
Hi, I'm a bird.
I wait a little more, see if something either opens the window or leans out.
No, not the window, but now you see from the back a door open, then close, and you see a medium height man with a shaved head and a beard, wearing robes of a Vatican priest, close the door behind him. He's carrying a book under one arm. He looks quite worn out. He's got some deep black circles under his eyes, and he's sort of stepping towards the front of the house, towards the window you're perched at. As he approaches, he grabs a heavy set of keys and tucks them in a sash and starts to walk towards the front door. You take any action? Doesn't seem like he's looking at you.
Is this the person I'm looking for?
That is not the man that was introduced.
It's not majority,
Okay. This is not the droid I'm looking for.
No, this is not Inquisitor Mizabi.
Are any of you watching me?
No, we're not there.
Nah.
Okay, then
Not that far away, but yeah.
I take a swoop and poop on his robes.
As he comes out.
Just to mark that one.
That's hilarious.
I'll come back to you later.
There was a group of like Franciscan nuns
Oh, fun.
in Star Wars in Galaxy's Edge. They were all going to get on in line for Smuggler's Run.
How
and
adorable.
It was so cute.
Wow.
All in full habits too.
Nice.
That's the second time I've seen them at Disneyland.
Wow.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
not
Look at these
Not
Catholic
the
bitches.
Star
last
Wars
time.
Land too.
not the last time we went, but I think one of the times before that we went, and it was the same ones, and their brown habits, which I'm pretty sure makes them Franciscan. But like we saw them in California Adventure last time, but this time we went to Star Wars Land. They were going down to get line for Smuggler's Run, and I was like, I want to be on the ride with the nuns
Right.
on Smuggler's Run.
You know they all have lightsabers, right?
Right? Oh my god. I was really sad because I really wanted the stormtroopers to come over and bother them.
Yeah.
Like watch the stormtroopers like hackle a bunch of nuns, and I was like, this is amazing. But it didn't happen. There was when Kylo Ren came out, there was a little boy dressed as Darth Vader, so Kylo Ren had the little boy dressed as Darth Vader walk around with him, and it was adorable.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, I was like, this is fabulous.
It's like the Calvin and Hobbes drawings.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's awesome. Yeah, so he closes the door and uses the key to sort of lock it.
Make us poop.
And as you do that, you let loose a nice spray on the back of his robe. And he catches some of it, and
Ew.
you hear him in Castilian
Which I don't
sort
understand.
of swear, and like he brushes some of it off, but
Yeah.
he didn't catch all of it.
Yeah,
You get a good spray going.
that's what I want. We'll find him later.
We promised spoop, there was spoop.
Swoop from a spooky bird. Transformative swoop.
On ground.
Alright, so now that I know he's gone, I'm gonna hop down into the windowsill and tilt my little bird head, see what's going on in there.
The house is quiet. You hear some shuffling in the back room.
Regular Swedish fish.
With the wits plus notice you roll,
Mm-hmm.
you're pretty convinced nobody else is in the house.
So lovely.
At least not get how to play, but we just like friendlies.
I shift still on the windowsill, so like that superhero pose where I'm like
Right.
perched.
You're perched on the side.
Yeah,
We feel like a fruit snack.
and
Where's the weird bullshit that we get?
I know, right? It's they're proper Swedish fish. I tuck the feather into my braid, so I don't lose it, and I
Mhm.
just hop down and sit on his desk, which I assume is in the room.
Yes. So the door is closed. So if you go and open it,
Yeah.
you see at the desk the man that you saw yesterday. So the man that was introduced. He's writing something with a quill. As the door opens, he doesn't look up. He keeps writing, and then says, "Did you forget something, Eladio?"
I forgot nothing. I'm here to speak to you.
And the moment your voices sound, he sort of takes a step back, and you hear the sound of steel in his hand, like from under the desk.
Oh, that's a
There's-
bad idea.
There's a Sarmatian saber, this big curved sword, and then he sort of staggers and takes a step back, and then when he looks at you,
I square up,
he looks
a
confused.
little unassuming.
Right, like you're totally not. You can tell, like from his features, like he has like the sword pointed out. He's still holding the quill, and he sort of looks at you like, huh. Not what I thought was gonna burst into this office right
This
now.
is not the nicest way to greet someone where I come from.
Seriously, don't be
Yeah, well, he did sneak into it.
He doesn't
You are
drop
the
the
weirdest
sword
assassin.
quite yet, but sort of loosens up a little bit.
Because
says-
I'm friendly.
Yes. And he says, "You must pardon me, I was not expecting a guest."
I don't think I was a guest at the time, but I can be now.
He sort of keeps his hand on the sword and like looks at his desk for a second and then sort of puts the quill in his little inkwell and then just like gestures with his free hand and you hear the sword sort of sliding back under the desk. He doesn't quite sit yet. He stays standing up. He's like, "Pardon my surprise. What do I owe this visit?"
The crown told me to see you. I am here to see you.
He looks very puzzled and just like rubs his beard and he's like, "You must excuse me, I don't know everybody in this city yet."
Well,
Who
she's not-
sent you?
She is not from this city. But she is here. And she reaches back and plucks the feather from her braid.
He sorts of looks at it and there's a moment where like he doesn't even touch it, doesn't reach for
Well,
it.
I don't hand it out.
He looks at it and you see something like flash into him like, "Where did you get that?"
Did you lose it?
I most certainly did not.
I want to know what did.
He actually goes to a side cabinet and pulls a bottle of wine and 2 glasses, pours one in front of you, one on the other side, and then fills both glasses. And he corks back the bottle and says, "Do you now? Are you searching for this being?"
Yes. I think the being has my sister. And I want her returned. And the crown said, you might know.
She's not exactly wrong. And he pulls the chair and grabs the cup in front of him and sort of sips a little bit of the wine. What do you know of the pacts that my people make with creatures not of this world?
Would One Eye have told me these things?
A little bit. The
Okay.
crone told you that as well.
Okay.
They compared them to Fae.
Yeah,
You don't know too much outside of that.
yeah.
So if you relate that sort of information,
I'm back.
hi Jason.
Boy.
If you
stopping
relate
by?
that information and
I'm not stopping by your place. No, you're good. Okay. You're back.
if you mention the Fae, he'll sort of nod, like, yes, similar. Creatures from another realm. In my line of works, you would call them demons.
She rolls her eyes.
But contrary to the Fae, the ones that we see in my country are very personal. They form pacts with specific mortals. They offer power, knowledge, riches, whatever a person may desire.
Nika had no need for any of these things. It took her. I want it back.
There is no easy way to say this. I don't think your sister wanted anything. I think she was the prize.
Uh-oh.
Insert angriest look Zhenya's ever had on her face.
I'm like, I feel a disturbance.
He
Yeah.
actually
Right?
sort of like recoils slightly at that and leans back in his chair. Like,
And just a guttural growl that she cannot suppress.
you see, sometimes these beings need something of this world. An anchor, so to speak. Their presence can manifest itself in only limited ways in our world, which is why they need mortals. But sometimes with the right anchor, they can stay here a little bit longer. Is there anything that would mark your sister as special, sought after?
Well, in Zhenya's eyes, that's all she is special and perfect and beautiful and blah 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 blah.
Right.
But does not commune with Matushka the way I do. She was frail and could not. She was not blessed with the green eyes.
It is interesting. I wonder then, often there is something special about the ones who are being sought.
ooh, it's something we don't know about yet.
Something that marks them either as exceedingly pure,
Well, she doesn't.
innocent, or important to destiny.
She's a good girl.
Perhaps that is enough.
Tell me how to get her back. Which is much more aggressive sounding than I just did.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, we must find the person who made the deal.
Grinds her teeth. Just fucking found you. But there's someone else coming.
Yes. I believe you're thinking of the same person I am thinking. Coming for this large party, yes?
Yes. Yes. And she
boy.
tucks the feather back into her braid.
Someone's gonna get eaten by an elephant.
Not eaten.
Jenny's gonna ruin our beautiful plan. Alright.
You can blame John on that one.
Hey,
Oh,
nothing
Tony
ever
doesn't
comes
care
easy.
and Rethel doesn't care. Tony's just voicing what's going to happen.
Here it goes. It was
Um,
nice while it lasted.
I just would have liked a hero point out of it, but no, if you get it started, I just gotta roll along with it.
Sorry.
Alright. People do have to die at some point. Someone's gonna die.
The man is
Just add more
Montaigne.
people to it.
Oh,
His
no.
wife is from my country. She is very likely the deal maker.
Who is it?
The wife of the person coming.
The Baron or Duke or whatever who's
Yeah.
trying to be
Yeah, he's a friend.
our Mark.
Duke.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's a friend of the Baron de Lane.
Who is the friend? I'm confused now.
Personal friend of his.
So
this
a
is some-
personal friend of the Baron.
Who's a Samartian?
The wife of the personal friend of the Baron
Yes.
is a Samartian.
Oh,
Samartine.
What?
whatever.
Sarmatian.
Wait.
I thought
hold
the
on.
wife of the Duke was the Sarmatian.
Fuck this up.
No, it's Sarmatian. I can see it in my brain.
Sarmation. Sarmation.
What?
Okay.
Sarmation?
Who's on first?
That's right. Nobody will know. Ever.
Sorry.
So the
Did
Duke.
you have notes on this scribe from last session?
Which part?
The
You
wife
can
of the
reread
Persian.
that to the group.
So the Duke who
From
is
the
our
last
Mark,
time?
right?
Our Mark is the Duke.
Right. And his wife
The conversation with Salvador.
is likely
Oh, I didn't
this
write anything.
this pact maker.
It would have been at the very end of your notes.
That's what it-
Salvador.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay. We visit Salvador's estate. She's dressed and stuff.
she's dressed and stuff.
Sorry, if you're Regalia, I wrote that, but I just said dressed with stuff.
As is her habit, yes.
Wife is Sarmation and possibly a witch.
Ah,
Both
there
will
he
be
is.
at the party.
Confirmed.
Sorry, wait.
Wait,
Boris's closest friend, and Montaigne with
Well, I don't like him
into
either.
weapons trade.
So the
Oh.
Montaigne's wife
Yep.
is Sarmation.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and this.
But this
and
is Juarez's friend,
and this
not
He's a
Montaigne
friend
is
of
Juarez's friend.
Juarez and the Baron.
and the Baron. Okay.
Okay,
Sorry, the Baron. My bad.
The,
Did
is the
wrong.
Baron our mark, or is Baron's not our mark?
No.
Baron's your mark.
The Baron is our fuck.
He's the one. He's the one you're supposed to kill.
Okay.
Okay.
But he's not the one with the list. It's some other guy who tapped to pass the list.
I know I wrote
Is
some
he?
of this down
Yeah.
somewhere.
He's trying to pass that list.
Okay. It's all the same guy we hate. So we can murder
Is
him
it?
and his wife,
I
and
thought
we're good.
he got another guy.
Yeah, he
no,
has an agent that will do the trade, but he's the
That's
one
what I
trying
mean.
to do the trade.
Yeah, but
Okay.
the Baron,
Okay.
not the Duke,
So,
is still our mark overall.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yes.
the Baron's the guy we need to kill, and he's trying to pass around this list. But he's got a friend, which is a duke.
What? Wait, what? No.
The Baron is trying to give the list to the Duke
Yes.
because the Duke is in charge of this
No,
area.
there's no Duke.
There's no
Okay. Okay. See. All right. See, no.
Okay.
Duke. No Duke.
Fuck.
No Duke.
Paul
I'd
keep
like
calling
to
him a
keep it
dude.
100%
It's a Baron.
in character.
Yes.
No. This happened. This happened in our kitchen at some point.
Yes.
No, wait. Okay, so the Baron
I like my country where they're all just Carl.
All right.
is
Okay.
our Baron. The Baron is our mark.
Yes.
His wife.
Is this Armadian?
No.
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 He doesn't have a wife.
He has a wife.
Okay.
She's not Sarmashi.
But she's not part of this situation.
No, it's the Montaigne's wife.
Yeah, but I don't like the Montaigne.
Who's
Or
the
the Sarmashi.
The Montaigne is friends.
All right.
But he's not.
From the beginning. The Baron d'Auvergne is hosting a big party at his estate.
Yes.
At this estate,
Okay.
he is planning to exchange a list containing the names of the Carrion Crows
Yes.
to the Inquisition.
Ah, there.
Probably
Yeah.
to Inquisitor Juarez, who is going to be there.
And we don't like him either.
No.
But he's not his friend necessarily.
No.
Okay.
They're potential allies, and D'Auvergne is trying to do this gesture to get into the good graces of the Inquisition.
Okay.
He's trying to acquire this estate, and it's difficult for him because he is from Montaigne.
Okay. And we don't care about his wife at all.
No,
No.
the
His
Montaigne wife is the one I care about.
His wife is unimportant. Now,
the Baron's wife is
a common friend of
But
the,
the Baron
of the
is
both of
Montaigne
them.
as well.
So they
Oh,
have
he's
a
also
friend.
Montaigne.
Yes.
Okay.
He's
But
not
they
He's
have
also
Castilian.
Montaigne.
That's why he's trying to buy this estate.
Everyone's
Ready to be
fucking French and I hate them all.
He
No.
was a general
Fair.
during the war,
We can murder them all.
Okay.
It's fine.
and he's now in the arms trade. He's very rich.
This is the Baron.
He's
No, this is-
Montaigne.
No, this is the friend.
This is the friend.
yes.
What?
The
Okay.
Montaigne
Yeah,
what-
we
friend.
moved.
All right. Who's friend?
The
The
Baron
Baron's
and
friend.
Juarez's friend is a mutual friend.
Ah.
Who
Okay.
is also a Montaigne.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Just
All
buy
right.
their friends in the
They're all
first place.
Montaignes all the way down. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And this guy, who's okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So this guy is not related to your overall plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only interest he carries is to Genia.
Yes.
All right.
So what Montaigne is this Montaigne? Does he have a name? Do we know yet?
You're supposed to. You write that down?
Oh my god.
Okay.
I don't think
While-
I did actually.
While we're checking that
I
out,
might have at some point. I just don't.
while we're checking that out,
Make
the
everything.
Odessian Liberation Movement, our friends at the restaurant, they want us to kill the Montaigne Baron,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. I mean, I guess we'll just murder everything that's Montaigne while we're there. Like, just
I'm okay with
I'm
it.
not. Hey, sure.
I'm okay. They obviously bring nothing but trouble and bullshit.
Well, I have a slightly different experience with that, but
Yeah.
you're not wrong with. I understand where you get it from. I see where you're coming from.
I see what's happening.
I understand it and I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a stereotype if it's real.
I mean, yeah.
That's not wrong.
Mm.
Maybe I didn't. I have so many random names written down, but I forget to write down who they
I
are.
don't know. It was at the end of the day, so
Well, they're all who's they
that's
now.
when my notes start to get more spotty.
Well, that's when mine got spotty too.
Well, then make up a French name, and that's what it is.
Now. Someone get on the last video.
Wait, okay, wait.
I
Fast
don't know
forward
if
to
it
the
came up on
end.
the last video.
It would have.
Did it?
Because
Salvador
Madame
talked
Salvador
about it.
told us.
Oh,
It'd be right at the end.
yeah.
I remember writing down some.
It's fine. I have it here.
You have it?
Oh.
Is it François Duplantier?
No.
Damn it! Fuck!
Frankie the Plant?
That's
Yeah, that's
that's from
that's from something else.
yeah, that's from a
Yeah.
while ago.
Frankie the Plantain? Wait, you're right.
Duplantier of the plant. Well, Plantier doesn't mean plant, but
It is now.
does now.
In Franglish.
Frankie the Plant. I
It's
like it.
franglais.
There you
actually.
go.
It's fragile. It must be French.
This is Jean Auguste Gaultier.
You know, he had that one really good song, and the rest of his music, you're kind of like, okay, yeah, I get it.
So the reason why these two
G-O-U-T.
seem to get crossed in your brains is that they were war buddies.
Sure.
Is it G-O-U-T-I-E-R?
Gaul.
Damn it! Stupid.
Damn, I missed the L.
With the French.
Oh, okay.
G-O-T-Y-E.
Forgot that A-U makes the most sound.
Yep.
Also, that L, though.
Yeah, I missed the L.
Which is something that we used to know.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was something we used to know.
Mm-hmm.
Was it?
Okay, so they're his friends and they're excited for his arrival because
You mean like he's coming to visit the town? He's rich as fuck.
okay, they just want money.
Yes. There's a good chance they're gonna establish some weapon routes. If, and only if, the Baron manages to secure the estate.
Gotcha.
Okay, that makes sense.
For now.
For now, give it a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'm trying to write it all down.
So yes, there are multiple threads sort of going at this party.
Of course.
They are going to visit town.
Okay.
They're probably going to stay for a little bit. As Masabi telling you that.
Okay.
Gautier's had nothing but good fortune since the war, which is unusual for people of his rank.
Paid in the blood of my sister.
Perhaps.
Jenny never actually sits, by the way. She just sort of like leans on the chair,
Right.
and she doesn't drink the wine because she's got better shit to drink.
Of course.
That would be rude, though. You can't refuse hospitality.
It's true.
I'll drink it before I leave.
Yeah, we can just down it.
Yeah, you just take a shot. Okay. I'll have to transfer this in another notebook. Do you know where they'll be staying?
I have an idea.
Do I have to ask you for your idea as well? I thought I'd made myself clear. The
You do
first
not.
question.
You do not. Let me clarify it. Is there a way I can contact you?
Why is he asking for your number?
Zhenya is her own beast. How would she answer that?
Why does he just say the thing? That seems suspicious.
Well, he said he can't be trusted.
Take an apple and bury it by a tree. I will know.
Do I put the letter in the apple? Do I have to inscribe it on the apple?
Interesting. I will not question it.
Good.
As much as I want to. So many questions.
He slides.
The tree must have big roots.
Oh, hey, hey.
Yeah.
All right.
There it
Big
is.
rooty trees.
That big root energy.
Well, for little roots, I won't tell them.
He
they can't
slides
feel it as well.
a piece of parchment that has an address on it
Mhm.
over to you.
Okay. I don't have my pack. I slip it in my boot.
Villa Belafonte. It's a lavish residence. He's a very lavish and garish man. If I was to
We can burn
venture a
it.
guess, that's where my money would be put. If I hear otherwise, I will bury an apple by a tree.
Big roots.
Maybe he'll just do it anyway,
Tragedy.
just because he wants to see if it actually
Different.
works.
And he
Yeah,
he,
fucking test it. Show up. What?
he finishes
Two messy
his
fruits.
wine and looks very tired.
This is a very tiring conversation with a very strange woman.
Have you come all this way to chase this creature?
I will not rest until Veronica is home and safe. And I don't care who I have to rip apart to get to her.
Your dedication is admirable.
She's my blood.
I can sympathize.
And you.
Perhaps you and I are not so different.
Perhaps we are so different. We are the same.
Oh, God.
Oh, goodness.
No. I don't like it.
It is in my experience that most people aren't.
I can believe that. Well,
From outside.
I will let you know.
He's here. Zhenya!
The lights are on! Come back home! She come back with the street lights are on.
Yeah, that's right. Zhenya! Are you done? It's boring!
Friend of yours.
She cracks a smile. Yes.
She won't let me back in the shop! She says I take up too much space. I need something to do!
There's
She
no
chuckles.
food anymore.
I ate all the food.
You ate all
Somehow.
the snacks. There's no more.
I'm not surprised.
It does not surprise me either.
Well, if I hear more, I will let you know.
Thank you.
Taking down the contract maker with this beast will benefit us both.
It will? Hmm.
Files that away. But just has a friendly smile. I will keep my ear to the earth.
I'm sure you will.
She takes her wine as a shot. She puts the cup down and turns it to him.
Before you go, if you hear anything regarding disappearances in the city, perhaps involving the Inquisition, would you be so kind as to letting me know?
But
Well, we don't make them disappear.
That's quite true.
We. So.
The city is quiet, But citizens are still disappearing.
Citizens are disappearing, or Inquisition is disappearing?
Oh, Inquisitors disappear all the time.
Okay.
At least he knows.
It comes with the territory. Especially here.
If I
The
hear
Prophet sword are uncouth, and, you know, they use an axe when a rapier would be more appropriate.
I did not use either. If I hear of innocents going missing, I will be sure to take care of that.
I would appreciate it.
Thank you for the wine.
Of course.
And she takes 2 steps and hops off as a crow and just.
I wish I could see the expression
A
on his
bird flies out of the house.
Merva! Is that you?
Do you see a priest with shit all over him?
Oh, no, he'd be.
Yeah, he's
He
yeah,
begun, but he's
gone.
gone. Yeah.
but yeah.
He moved on.
Zhenya lands on Jimena's shoulder.
Are you? Okay.
Sorry.
That was real, man. I felt that.
Yep,
Well,
but
she's
you-
also carrying. What, Amanda?
So I'm glad you weren't a peacock.
Yes.
Those make weird sounds.
They scream.
Oh,
Yeah.
they
They
scream
make-
loud and
That's why I
long.
hate them
Yeah.
so much.
They make awful
They
noises.
sound like murder.
My mom used to live next to like a peacock farm up in the.
That's wow.
My tea in Los Gatos, they had
Yeah.
fucking peacocks that would roam the streets.
Yeah, my mom lived like right outside Boulder Creek, and the house that was like up the mountain from them had a bunch of peacocks.
Yeah, they scream. They scream.
My mom has horror stories.
She's also carrying a white feather, so you
Okay.
you guys have seen her with the feather.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you'll be like, you, I'm hungry.
Hop, pop, pop, because they do that cute little hop thing, and then she stands up and shakes off. You are always hungry. Where is my pack?
It's where you left it. What am I doing?
I don't know.
Being you. That's not good. Where you left it.
Yay.
You wanted me to come out so quickly, but you did not bring my pack.
I like it.
Elbow shove, and goes off to get it.
I'm horny.
Well, the interior looks a lot cleaner now.
It looks good.
Yes. The shop looks nice and clean. You see the 3 ladies are sort of busying themselves, setting up like a little workshop, like on the side, a little work area. There's bolts of fabrics, like getting.
Yeah, I feel like I must have dropped a lot of that cash at some point, sending some couriers to like order shit.
Why when you have Jose's?
That's right. The private couriers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't.
No, I mean not money to the couriers. I meant money to buy the shit.
Oh,
That's
gotcha.
just-
I was
yeah.
like, I'm not gonna pay them. I mean, it's nice to tip them, but.
Okay, Jose.
Same
Raffle?
obligation.
We pay them in being alive.
I went to go work. I didn't know what was going on.
Oh,
Yeah.
you fucked off.
Rethel
Okay.
is doing work.
Okay. Madalena,
Yes. How was the conversation?
I have a lot of information, so I need to tell it quickly before it's gone. And there's a man in the robes. What is this called? The priest. Yes. He's covered in bird smatter.
Is that you?
Yes. We should find him. But before that, she tells you about disappearance of people and civilians and blah blah blah. You heard. Toot, toot.
It's not me.
I should tell Rathold.
Yeah, he went to work.
He works.
Well, the man, the estate.
Against his
Doing
better
something
judgment.
over there.
He doesn't need to.
You work.
He just
I
does.
have not seen him work.
Yeah, you have. You've been there with him up at the. Weren't you?
He works.
Oh,
Well, like I've never seen him.
I'm sorry. I forgot
Work.
I forgot the airports.
Okay. He does not really. He tells people he does things, but I don't think he does them.
That's a secret cat.
Right.
Yeah.
In Jenya's head, like she sees Rethold like sort of seated with his head at the table, like in your kitchen, and he's like, "I'm gonna go to work," and then he crosses the street and does the same shit on the table in front of the window, just across the street.
Yeah. I'm like, it doesn't do anything. I've not seen him.
I'm gonna go do this in a different building. See you later, guys.
Pops her head in. Should we talk back in?
Yes. Jimena is hungry.
She ate all the snacks. Oh,
Not
well.
all of them.
Yes,
You
because
had
I
two
saved
crackers.
some for my people.
I
Left
put
you to
that plate
saltine
aside.
crackers. That shit sucks.
It's like making the plate and then putting it down and taking the platter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically.
I saved you some.
I'm like, there was one of everything.
Right. I didn't eat the saltines. I can't whistle when I eat those.
They dry out my throat.
I can't yell into the street.
Same.
So,
He's important.
we are going to find something to eat. You need something?
Probably.
Okay. Maybe we find Raffled on the way, and we'll come back.
Okay.
Shoulders on her pack.
Jimena just needs something to do. She's just like, I'm restless.
Evine, what are you up to?
I
I've been
hope that.
pondering this question for the past 20 minutes.
Are you following Poop Man? Please be following Poop Man.
She wouldn't know. Oh, I guess she would now.
There's a
if she
marked
was there.
target.
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
Evine has been MIA. For all you know, she could have been following any of y'all.
She is
At
the
any
man.
time,
She is the
yeah.
priest.
Yeah.
Yep.
The whole time.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yep.
It's
Road everyone.
bothering me.
Yep. When you walk down a
Doesn't wanna
street
do the
in
thing.
San
There you
Felipe, any person you encounter could
Could
be
be
Evine at any given moment.
She's just
We're all Evine down here.
she's
It's gonna be the big reveal.
Yeah.
From Assassin's
Creed.
Right.
She's just blending in with a patch of nuns.
Yep.
Somehow.
Sliding
That's
through.
right. That's gonna be the big reveal at the end, that you all live in a fucking like 17th century analog simulation with Evine playing every role.
That's weird.
Evine is the computer.
Everybody you've ever encountered was Evine.
Oh no, it's a Tyler Perry movie.
It better not be, because I'm not playing that game.
We are all Evine.
Right.
It's weird.
It's a Black Mirror episode.
You want a
Yeah.
corn
I
dog?
think she would have followed
You want a corn dog?
Jenya and then.
Okay.
Because I kind of want a corn dog.
So you saw
Corn dog.
They're jalapeno.
you saw
cheddar
this whole
corns.
situation where she turned into a crow. Fortunately, you're the best equipped to follow her as a bird, because
Mhm.
you can free run your way through the city. You basically see her just dump ass on this priest.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's very deliberate. Because you saw the bird sort of like turn around and be like,
And, like,
"Oh, I
watch."
gotta aim, wait for it."
And now.
So you're not exactly sure why, and then she flew into the house, and this priest, with shit on his habit,
He's pretty pissed.
just locked the door and left the house.
I think I'd follow him just to be like, why though?
Why did she shit on him?
Right?
I know I've got stuff to do, but I want to know.
You're like, she gets confused by it, but I don't think she hates religion that much. Like,
No, she's pretty chill.
it's like,
Except for one.
it doesn't seem like her. If you follow this priest, roll me a finesse and hide. Unless you want to try a different approach to, like, merge into the crowd, or it becomes very apparent that this guy is very careful not to be followed. So you have to approach this very carefully.
Yeah. I'll use finesse and hide. Pretty aid. Nope, I'll use that.
That was a satisfying sound.
Yeah.
And subscribe to that channel.
Yeah.
The dice rolling channel.
This is nerd ASMR.
No,
Nothing but
the
dice
handful
sounds.
of dice being
Yeah.
Nerd
rolled.
ass more.
Because one die being rolled sounds sad,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that handful of D8, D6, D10, just
Yeah.
cronk.
That good clatter.
Mm-hmm.
Calculating.
Computer, do math.
That is 6 raises.
Alright. You melt into the crowd. Like it's Assassin's Creed 1 and you found a group of monks. You're just like walking with them and you're invisible. Yeah, like you follow from a distance, but your training tells you he is very careful not to be followed, right? Like he's not following a specific route. He's taking seemingly random turns. He's careful to make stops at regular intervals, so it makes it seem like he's, running errands. And
So this is like becoming a game for her, like, ooh, he's trying. Ooh.
Do it, Peter. After a little while, you see him sort of head towards one of the poorer areas of town, and he sort of ducks and enters what looks like to be a lodging house.
This is like a Victorian mystery. Follow the dapper man to the opium den.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
Wait, is it really?
Sort of. I mean, this looks like a. This doesn't look like anywhere a priest in full habits should be. Even because your stealth roll was great, you immediately spot near the back of this building. It's very the house itself looks like it has like 2 stories, but it's very thin, right? Like it's like a super old building, right? But if you take one of the side streets, you can get behind that house and probably find a good vantage point to snoop on whatever business is happening within.
Yes.
That's right. So you basically, like, there's a pile of old rotten wood there that looks like it probably had been there to build something at some point, and then for whatever reason was just abandoned, whether it was an extension or a new house or whatnot. That wood has been there a while. It's old and wet and,
That's old wet wood.
Yep.
That's what she said.
Yep.
Sure was.
That's right. So you managed to like climb a little bit on that, using it almost like a weird scaffolding, and you can basically listen in, even though the even though the window shutters are closed. This house is old and decrepit, so you can still sort of hear what's happening within. Roll me a wits plus notice.
Lovely.
Aw, yeah.
Nice.
ASMR.
Yep. It's a gamer and it's
I love that spell.
I want this to be real now. Probably is.
Maybe a
Words.
feature on dice and teacups.
Another 6.
Dice and teacups.
Yes.
Another 6.
Tony
Fantastic.
thinks I should make an Instagram of dice and teacups.
That would be amazing.
You
Told you.
post yourself across that window, and then you start listening
Just
in.
have to unpack all of
There
it.
are multiple people in there, men and
Just one a
women.
week.
And in fact, because you got 6, you managed to find a vantage point where, like, the shutter is just janky enough that you managed to listen. This is all very phallic here right now.
I mean,
I'm-
yeah.
I'm not ready for mine.
I'm wriggling in my chair here.
Meanwhile, I'm just gonna eat some fish.
Do it, Tony.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
Come on, Tony.
pressure and like,
I've been waiting all week for
It's
this.
on camera.
it's like, you know,
I'll be waiting all week for this time.
No, shrinkage.
I don't want my performance to be.
I want to watch John watch Tony.
Right.
Oh, there's a quote.
It's too bad there's no video.
It was worth it.
No, my God, I didn't look.
Yeah, that look.
I didn't look up. That's weird.
John is giving Tony a longing stare. Missed it.
Watch the replay yourself if you want to see it in action. Yeah, like there seems to be about like 5 people. This priest guy, and then a bunch of other folks dressed in nondescript colors, not prophet sword regalia, not city guard regalia. They're just well equipped. You know, you see pistols and swords and at least a rifle.
Whoop.
I got it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Just the
she
tip.
caught it by the tip.
Good. Just the tip. Just the tip.
That's right. That's all that was left. When the priest steps into the room, you see and hear everybody else sort of like getting out of their chairs.
They fall on him.
Right. It gets very private.
It's a massacre.
Gets very private. What's going on in there?
One of the ladies basically asked him, well, and he says, nothing much. We have to continue what we've been doing, so you have to continue watching. Do we still have no ideas or no patterns on those people? Anything that would connect any of them? One of the men who had stayed seated says, well, outside of the fact that they're on inquisitorial lists, nothing. I don't know why these specific people out of the lists. I don't know why posting lists if they could just grab those people out of their homes regardless. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. One of the ladies says, the family of one of the disappeared victims has tried to go to the church to ask questions about where her husband had gone. I think the whole family is gone at this point.
Great.
The house is vacant. Nobody has come in or out for years. I think there is a dog in there, and it's barking day and night at this point.
No, hungry doggy.
The priest looks like it has like a tremendous weight pulled on him, and basically still shakes his head and says, well, The Dark Inquisitor has spoken, so we have to continue looking into this. Be wary of the Prophet's sword. They are watching my movements.
Oh.
I did write that.
Because of his swarthy complexion.
Yes.
Or is it?
The group basically sort of agrees and says, we'll continue to look. We don't have enough folks.
Keep saying that.
This is going to be difficult. We can't be everywhere at once, and it feels their arm is reaching ever further. The priest basically shakes his head and says, I know, but that's our duty and that's our task. If we don't stop it now, there will be no stopping it ever.
Duty.
Yeah. And after a while, they start talking a little bit about logistics. This gets a little bit more jumbled for you because there's about like 3 or 4 conversations going on at the same time.
Yeah.
They talk about specific neighborhoods within the city. They're talking about routes that they're taking to
Roots or roots?
Routes. Route routes.
route routes. Yeah, they're talking about like special spots where they would canvass the city. You hear multiple mentions of avoiding the cathedral area. You hear a couple mention of the villa where you and the rest of the team have been investigating. There's talks of the party. But yeah, like that, you get like bits and pieces at this point. It's all sort of jumbled because they're planning and there's multiple threads sort of going on simultaneously.
I will make my careful exit and go to find Genya.
All right, where do you go to find Genya?
Guess I'll just go back to the
shop.
yeah.
Marlena's shop.
Oh, Vivian.
Yes,
Where have you
Evine.
been?
Evine appears as you're having an argument over snacks. And exactly how many has Jimena eaten?
Oh wait, she's still here?
Yeah,
This all
so
happened.
this all happened
Yeah.
simultaneously.
Yeah, while I was talking to,
Oh right, okay, it was
What's
right.
his
Oh
bucket?
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I had
she followed the
got it.
It was a rewind.
Yes.
So now we're back in the
Okay,
We have to run threads concurrently because
it's fine.
y'all living your best lives separately at this point.
Sorry. No one's ever actually stopped and asked Genya what's up with the feather.
Ruffles is easy. It's just those clips from like cartoons where they're working on a construction site where it's clang, clang, and then it cuts to like lunch. And
Yeah.
then clang, clang, and then like clock out. And
Yep. There's like there's the dinosaur whistle from the Flintstones. Except
Yep.
it's the elephant.
and it's that soundtrack where it's dun 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 dun.
Roll me another approach, Rethel, because we're back at work.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, I want that. So
Yeah.
panache plus perform.
Yep.
I don't think your full works. What are you talking about?
Right.
Oh, I work, baby. I was just
Rethel,
not
you
doing
get
what
asked
they
a
think.
couple of times during the day, like, where are the others?
Oh, they drank too much last night. What are you talking about?
Oh, ha, yeah, that happens. We still show up to work though.
Yeah, well, I guess some of us don't need to get paid.
At some point, if you do mention that, one of the foremen, who's about 2 heads shorter than you are, comes and like he tries to grab you by the shoulder, but then settles on grabbing you by the waist instead. So it's very weird and awkward. And he looks up at you, and he's like, "What do you mean you're not getting paid?"
I was like, oh, no. Some of us don't need. I guess some of us don't need to get paid. Oh no, I'm getting. Don't worry, we're getting paid.
Okay.
I'm getting paid. No, yeah.
Okay.
I don't work for not pay of some sort. That's
Good. Yes. If they try to shaft you, you tell me.
What was that?
I'll be right back, but I can still hear you. I just will be away
Okay.
from the microphone.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Totally. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Don't worry. I'm getting paid. Let me see what my raises are here.
Yes.
So those, I want to do those, and then that is it's a 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that works. All right, and then noise. All right, sure, I'll take it. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, okay. Oh, that came out to that. Oh, okay. Well,
Now you're talking to your dice.
'cause math.
Cause math.
Yeah, it comes out to about the same. All right, so 2, 4, 6, 8
Do we have
raises.
8. Very good.
Yes.
No, you're getting in famously. Juan Mendez, at this point, is a valued member of the crew.
Integral team member. Yes.
Yes. Like, you find at this point that even though like there's like multiple foremen, you get people coming to you periodically during the day.
Yeah.
Basically like with plans or like with like, "Oh, Mr. Mendez,
Yeah.
can I get your opinion on something?" And you know, like, so you see like this gazebo, like I don't know, like maybe it should be here, but like I'm not sure it's gonna disrupt, you know, like you're
Well, you gotta
basically
watch out for gazebos. They're easily angered if you awaken them.
Yes.
And if they have little baby gazebos, it's don't worry. The people on the other side of the fourth wall are gonna love this joke.
yes.
You have angered the gazebo.
Fantastic. But
That's
yes,
bad, I feel
so sometimes to the ire of the foremen, who are like, "Who's this guy? Like, why?"
Well,
But
they know. Well, once they find out it's me, it's like
yes, once they get to know you,
it's Juan.
it's
It's Juan.
oh yeah, I
Yeah,
see
he's
now.
alright.
I see it now.
Um,
But yeah, you're deeply ingrained.
So have we found any secret passageways yet, or like come up with anything, or?
Yeah, you have some good routes. So like we mentioned last time, so first of all, you have the entire event flow from start to finish.
Yes.
You found some
Wow, you
good
found out all the
spots for Evine to listen in / snipe if needed to. You've even identified a couple entry points where you could potentially sneak into the building. Even looking at the blueprints at this point, you've narrowed it down to about 3 or 4 rooms within the estate where you're reasonably convinced if an exchange was to happen, this is where you would do it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're really narrowing it down at this point, like all under the auspices of like, let me see this. Sure, I'll help you with this task.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can we get? Is there a way to get super clever and be able to watch multiple rooms at once? Like, is there a nice vantage point where we could keep an eye on where these exchanges might take place,
Yes.
so that we can then
Yes.
mobilize to whatever room it is?
Yes, and you definitely have identified spots, like you mentioned, where you can cover multiple rooms at once, so that you don't have to post one person per spot,
Cool.
right?
Yeah.
You also managed to get your hands on a full event staff roster.
Yes.
So you have a full list of who's supposed to be working where, and that list is long. So to your knowledge, if somebody was to say, impersonate somebody on staff, as long as they have the right name and the, some people would notice, maybe security would notice, but the vast majority, people don't pay attention to the help. So there's
Don't
enough
care
people
about the
on
help.
this list that you're like, yeah, like if we play this strategically, we could potentially take the place of any of these people, and
So, should I come up with 5 names that fit the descriptions of each of our
absolutely.
of each of us
Yep.
to
Well,
be
we
our
have an
cover?
invitation.
Yeah.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
You
We're
guys-
just going to the party.
so 3. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
2 of us are.
I'm still gonna put you in there in case you guys need to go under.
Does that mean we have to have a change of
That's
clothes
right.
under our fancy dress?
Oh, honey, I got you covered.
Here.
Don't worry.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
If anyone knows anything about breakaway skirts,
Right. We don't have enough.
Wait.
You don't have enough players, so you got to play both sides. Yeah, you have multiple roles.
All right, cool. I'm gonna come up with some of those.
Yeah,
So
you're
that's
actually
legit.
pretty pleased with the progress you're making. Like you're getting this corner, especially since you've been working at these for multiple
We
days.
should take. We need to find out what the uniforms look like,
Mhm.
what the help is going to be dressed as, and then we can just take a couple of the dresses that I stole, and make them look reversible.
Nice.
Stuck into a corner, turn the dress around, put it back on. Oh look, I have no
I'll
shirts.
totally grab
But I do have
some
this shop
swatches.
Oh, nice.
All
Yeah.
things.
Yep. Yep.
I'll grab you some swatches so you can source some of the material.
Nice. Bless you.
Thank you.
So yes, Evine, you arrive at this scene where there's a conversation around exactly what ratio of the snacks did Jimena eat, and what did she leave. She's very insistent that it's not all.
And where was it?
I don't actually care that much about it.
It's just fun.
It's all good nature. It's all in good fun.
That's right. I don't know if Amanda's back yet.
It's just fun.
Yay.
I can hear it.
So, this might be a long shot, but I do get to earn a hero point when I forgo subtlety and claim full credit for my actions. So I'm going to uncharacteristically walk up to Zhenyan and say, "Why did you poop on that priest?"
No context.
All conversation stops. Look,
And for lack of a better term, Zhenya gets a shady grin and goes, "I knew someone would follow him if I marked him."
Someone being you, apparently.
Well, you're right. I did. Would you like to know what I found out?
Yes, but maybe we should find out first. Apparently he's working.
You know
That's what he
exactly what
said.
he's working on. Because Evine was there for the past few days with them.
We
Have
will relay.
your hero point, Evine. It's
So
like, I followed your shit.
Yeah.
I did. Alright, so are you all trying to find Rethold now?
Yeah, let's go find.
So, I mean, do I have a class today?
Yes, you do.
Because I can't come with, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna, I'll leave the other 3 with, some tasks, and I'll give the key to the oldest person.
She will take care of the shop for you. You can go to your class where much grappling and stabbing happens.
Nice. Stab and grapple.
That's right. By the end of this session, you'll be able to take the swordsman style.
Ooh. Okay. I need to actually know what that means. I should probably look it up.
My help.
Yeah.
Alright, well. have to go find
So
rental.
this whole merry band shows up at your work.
And then it has like half a loaf of bread and like a turkey leg. Mobile food.
Yeah.
That's right. Some good rent fair food.
About how long? Like probably what time of day would that be? Like
Well, at this point,
I mean, I was assuming that I used the first half of the day to do that stuff, and I left people there
Don't
and
you
went
hate
to
these names?
class.
aren't they great names?
I don't even know what they are. And I think
So far our cover names, or rather, people who are actually working the event, whose
Mhm.
identities we're going to appropriate,
yep.
are Carl Johansson, Natasha Borstakov, Evine's getting Patricia O'Reilly.
Oh, really?
Yep. Jimena's gonna get Kiki Maria Josefina Sabrina de la Vega,
Sounds about right.
and I'm still working on the Medicine, but we'll get there. Yeah.
Was there one for me?
Yeah, you're Natasha Borstakov.
So
Of course.
Borscht a cob.
Yes.
She's Boris and Natasha.
Right. Natasha
Oh.
Rusky.
Yeah. I was like,
You
what?
might as well just call it me Usern Usern-san.
Did you see mine?
Yes.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Just lean it into the stereotypes. It's
Yep.
all good.
Yep. It's my brother, Sergey Sergeykov.
That's right.
We were talking about that
Sergey
because
Sergeyevich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leonard and Ganilla went to Starbucks and had to give their names for their drinks. And so Leonard was like, okay, I know you're not going to know this, so I'm just going to say Carl. There are Carls here.
Just pick a good name, Carl.
And he said Carl, and then the guy was like, how do you spell that? And he's just like, how do you, what?
W.
Yeah. It's a good
Carl.
stuff.
Yeah.
Z.
So we talked about how Leonard and Ganilla's American names are Maria and Carl.
You could be Lenny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ganilla.
Yeah.
I've just,
When?
I taught Deanna to say it by, it's vanilla.
But with a G.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she's getting it. I'm trying to give her, like, things.
Phonetic.
I'm like, it's like Duart, but Lenart.
Oh, hey.
So, we're trying. Anyway.
Yeah, so would this be towards the end of the shift or right after lunch or?
Yeah, it's towards the end of your shift at this point.
Cool. Yeah. No, I think I would notice the shift in energy as they all come trooping towards
Yeah.
the estate.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I'd just be like, oh no, yeah, gotta call it an early day. I'll be, I'll see you guys. I'll probably see you guys at the bar. We'll see, and then I'll be in that much earlier tomorrow or not, whatever. Bye. Cool. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Okay, thanks. Bye. See you later. Bye.
And I roll up and I'm like, hey, how's today? I mean, yeah, I see it's been a good day for you. All right.
Points at her.
Zhenya tells you all the shit she learned.
He accepts the info dump.
I had to tell you right away before I lost it.
No, that's smart. Yeah, no, that's how I do it. Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah, no, yeah,
And I
no.
shut on the priest.
I'm very proud of you.
And
As long as you don't say I learned it from watching you.
Evin followed him.
I would too. I would be concerned.
Every time you say I shadow on a priest, Jimena crosses herself.
Right.
So when you shout on the priest,
That was the
The
entire
end.
joke.
no,
We're done.
Sorry. I got confused. So this priest you shit on. The priest who was shit upon it is.
The only
I don't know who he was.
So when
I
she
just-
shits on the priest.
I'm done.
You were like signing yourself
Not
with a turkey.
listening.
Like,
I wash myself away.
Yeah.
All of you.
I'm like, it wasn't me who did it. I'm good.
It wasn't you who shit on the priest.
Nope.
I saw your hand like go up a little. I saw you slip. That's too flingy.
Like the bread hand.
No,
just-
no. Like off to the side, the bread and the turkey leg make a cross.
Yeah.
Like
She just kind of moves the bread.
just in a molinet, turkey cross.
little warding.
Oh dear me.
Silently praying in her head. Like, please God, it's not my fault. Don't blame me for these people's transgressions.
Yes, they know not what they speak.
Right.
So are we gonna wait? Are we going to wait for an apple, or should we just go to this estate and say hi?
Well, we're going to go to the estate, but he said he'd give the apple if
I
there
thought
was.
you've been working on the estate. Is it a different estate?
It's a different estate because
Oh,
you
that
can't keep
job.
anything. Yeah.
His back. I don't know. Anyway, yes,
There's an elephant. You love it.
Yes, I do.
You made good
It's
friends.
very nice elephant. Elephant.
It missed you today.
I bet. I did not want to be where I was. I did want to be where I was.
It hugged me because I smelled vaguely like you. Apparently, it was scary.
But you give such good hugs.
Well, I'm not used to anything bigger than me trying to hug me. It's very new,
That's true. Fair.
especially because I don't think it's a lady. And well, you know that's
It's not a lady.
okay. Yeah, it's bigger than me in many respects, and that makes me just a little. Look, that's mine. It's for me. It's okay. Anyway,
Wow.
that's.
Something's happening.
I'm Juan Mendez, and I fuck bears. Okay, we're back.
That's right.
And back. To,
And elephants, I think, is it.
no, elephants are fine. That can be not in my menagerie. That's okay. Okay, this other estate where there's a person we want to ask about a contract and try and get your sister back.
It is the Ville Balifante.
It's in there. It missed you today.
No.
I had to give it extra peanuts for it to stop complaining.
The villa is called that.
It's an elephant villa.
Belephant.
Oh, that like thing. Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry. That's a Castilian. Okay.
Hey.
It means pretty fountain.
Yeah. No, I was still on. I was still on the big gray thing. Okay. Well, yeah. No. Okay. I got her. All right.
Okay.
So I've done nothing all day. Let's go do that.
I told you he didn't do
Yeah,
anything.
no, they think I'm working. It's the best thing. Just, I walk around, I go, a few times, and I say hi to the elephant. I spend some more time with it as usual. And then I walk back around and I go, where's the gazebo? And I'm like, well, you maybe should put it somewhere useful. And they're like, wow, you're so smart. And I'm like, I guess, yeah.
You're still talking. Everyone has walked away.
Yeah. No, like,
Jenny's still here.
yeah,
like,
as we walk, yeah. It's great.
tell
And
me
they're-
your funny stories.
And like at one point I was like, haha, getting paid, and one of them was very emphatic that I make sure I get paid. And I'm like, why? I don't do anything, but okay.
But thank you.
So here we are. Where's this villa? Do we have any idea where this villa is?
Yeah, there's an address on there.
Oh,
Yeah, he
sick.
gave me the address, which I pulled from my boot.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay.
It's in the-
So what's the plan? Do we just
Yeah, you can't read it anyway.
No.
are we just going to belabor them because we think they're bad people, or are we going to invent like what's
I mean,
the?
they are bad people.
Yeah, well, yeah.
When
So
did you
so
guys
we
ever
just
make plans like this? You just go in there and
I-
kick the door down.
do we need? I'm like,
I'm
do
not
we
there,
need more
but-
information because it feels like they might not have. Or
Are
do
they
you think she
actually
has?
at the place yet, or are they still coming to the place?
I'm unclear.
No, it sounded like he lives here or he's staying here currently.
He's going to come and stay for a while.
It's a day or two before the thing. They're probably in town.
Maybe.
We
Or
check.
they're not getting here till the day of the party.
Because the what is his name?
Izmir?
Zabi?
Zabi?
Umzabi. Thank you.
Zabi.
That's fucking
Zabi.
so bad.
The Dark Inquisitor.
Yes.
Zabi.
The other dark meat.
Yeah.
Depending on the time
So
of day.
good you'll be yelling, oh god!
That's right. Depending on the Yes!
Anyway,
When it's after dark, the M part gets longer and longer. Zabi.
Yeah.
We gotta be serious now. Shelley's trying to find her sister.
Yeah, so should we scope the place out? Or?
I mean, we can go see if they're there. And
Yeah.
if they're there, then we can
Yeah, let's.
yeah, I
do
mean,
things.
he gave me this dress, and said that they would most likely be there. But if he heard something different, he would alert me otherwise. And then he said that there was people becoming missing, and if I heard about the people becoming missing, to let him know. But I did not promise that I would let him know. I said that if there were innocent people that were being missing, that I would take care of it.
Right. Didn't we also get something to that effect from the restaurant? That people
Yes.
were dropping off the radar?
Yes.
And-
Okay.
And
You
if
got
Evie
that it
never
was
comes
getting
back,
a
she
lot
can
less.
tell you.
No, Evie was there.
But she's not current here because we haven't heard from Evie in a second.
Oh. Rabbit,
I'm here.
are you free?
Free.
Are you a ghost?
Probably.
She's pooping again.
So she can talk about
Right.
what she
the
heard.
Missing. Yeah.
the poop priest talk about.
Do any of us?
Priest.
What was that?
The priest. Yes. Well done. 10
Hold
points,
on, hold
Ellie.
on.
Yay!
Nice.
Good
Ravenclaw,
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw.
You got us points, Amanda.
Appropriate.
Alright, try again, Rabbit. What was going on?
It's appropriate because what I'm doing now.
Yes, you're always pooping. It's not that funny to me anymore.
Wow.
He's inured to it.
It's always happening. No. Do any of us have any clue what this other sect is that this priest, that the ship priest is involved with? Like any context clues? Like
Well, you don't know exactly what that seems to be,
But he has a tale about a whole family going missing after going to the church.
yeah, and
Actually-
if you get Evine's information, like there's a clear rift. Like it's not just like a disagreement between the two inquisitors. They seem to be actually at odds.
Evine. So do you share the whole story with us? Do you give us all that info?
Yeah.
Okay. So as soon as I hear that, I'm like, okay, before we do that, can we take a moment to investigate the dog?
Yes.
Okay, we head straight, like, we try and figure out where this house is. Like,
Yep.
we want to find this house.
From the context clues, Evine, since you heard about that piece pretty thoroughly, you can pretty much piece it together. And when you start to arrive in the right neighborhood, you can actually tell which house it is because you actually hear the dog. Is barking. You actually hear some annoyed neighbors. You know, like as you approach, you hear a very ornery sounding man who's basically like, I am right about to go bust into that house and shut that dog up myself.
Not before me.
Yeah, I'm like, as soon as it's apparent that this dog is just barking, we bust open that door. Like, we just bust through the door. We are the Brute Squad.
Yep.
No hesitation.
All right. Roll me a brawn plus brawl or athletics. Whoever is going first.
Oh, I guess that would be Ruffle this time.
I mean, you're right behind. So.
Yeah.
You guys are the wrecking crew. So.
Gotta wreck it
Hell yeah.
and save the puppy.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I still got some turkey leg.
You got a bone at least?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, hungry puppy takes precedence.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So we're looking pretty good so far here. Let's see here. That's okay. So we'll make that work. Okay, cool. Math. Math is hard, yo. Okay, so yeah, and then maybe.
What was the roll? Brawn plus what?
Brawn plus either brawl or athletics.
So I have 5 points in brawl and 4 points in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 5 in brawn and 4 in brawl.
Yeah.
Let's see what Rethel gets.
6. I can't figure out a way to make it 7, but yeah. So 6 raises to bust through that door and just be like, "This is my house now."
Oh yeah, the door. The door
Vaporizes.
does not resist your advance.
The door moves out of the way.
Yeah, basically, if it could have left, it would have. Like you as it shatters to bits, you can almost hear it be like, "Oh man."
Damn it! All you had to do
As
was
it
knock.
just gets destroyed into splinters. And inside, you see a very dehydrated looking dog.
Yeah, that water skin comes off that pouch super quick. But
And
not,
he's
but not too much too quick. Just like
he sees you, and it looks like halfway between like uncertain and afraid. The moment you pour that water skin out and you actually show it there's water in there, like he sort of like curve back, like crawls towards you, and then starts like lapping at
oh yeah, no, we
the water.
controlled water because I know what dehydrated
Yeah.
creatures do.
Yep.
And then same with you. You know,
Yeah,
little
breaks-
pieces,
breaks
just
piece
to
off.
just to let it
Yeah.
get those calories back in.
Oh, he scarfs that down.
And
Into
you
your
have
hand.
the best friend forever now.
Yeah.
Does it have a
Looks-
collar? Does it have a?
It does have a
What's
collar,
the name
and in
on that?
fact,
You have a dog.
when you step into the house, like as you're getting busy with the dog, that both of you are inside the first room, and you get assaulted with a rancid smell.
Oh no.
Not a smell of death, but
No.
like
Because it's
Yeah.
been cooped up in this
somebody also has left some kind of food out, probably in the heat for several days, and now
Okay,
it
so-
smells
Yeah.
real bad, right? And if you look right to the side as the dog is taking like little pieces off your hand, you see 2 plates set up at the table, like somebody was about to have a meal. And the food is still there. There's some bits, taken from it. And
Wouldn't the dog have eaten some of that?
oh,
Or
he
was it
did.
good? Oh,
While he could.
Yep.
All right. Once the dog's gotten a little bit, because that's going to take some time to get it back to fighting strength. Time for a full sweep. Is it a 2-story, 1-story cellar?
It's a 1-story tiny home, probably worker's house. You see, Rethel, if you're looking into it, you see 2 bedrooms. One master bedroom with a larger bed. You see some clothes on the side for a man and a woman. And Jimena, as you look, as you look to one of the other doors, Jimena, you find what looks like a child's bedroom
oh boy.
with no
Tick me
child
off.
within.
You usually have all my handy little notes.
Nope. I am a monster.
And not a soul inside. You see that there is a back window that looks just slightly ajar.
Does that back window go out to anywhere interesting?
It goes to the back alley out the back.
Alright, so 3 raises on Wits plus Notice. If anyone else wants to join in on some Wits plus Notice,
I'm witzing and noticing.
looking for any type of little holdout panels or evidence of any odd incursions, anything at all.
I got 3.
3.
Gotta hear the roll.
That's right.
Oh my!
Jesus.
I'm scared and excited.
Scare aroused.
Yes.
My favorite.
I got 3 again because I can't make 15s.
Friday's theme was, you had my attention and now you have my interest.
How many do you get?
Re-rolling on right and left.
Because I can't make 15s out of these.
Everybody's got 3s.
Well, I rolled
This is not my forte.
a 9, 2 8s, a 7, a 3, and a 4.
Murdering doors and schmoozing is my forte.
Yes.
Also, rolling 10s.
Wits.
Rolling exploding 10s twice on both rolls really does the thing for you.
How many did you get, Bad Dad?
6.
6.
There you go.
There it is.
Wheelhouse.
There were multiple people in here outside of the house occupants. You can figure out even that they snuck in through that back window, snatched 2 people while they were at the table, and snuck them out that back alley. You see that the scene has been a little bit tempered with. You're pretty sure at least one of the chairs got knocked over and then got placed back. But even if you were to venture your best guess, something happened that made these people have to hurry up. So the whole room didn't get doctored, and the dog was left. So, very likely. Outside of that, Evine, you're actually a little impressed. There's very little in the way of traces, like who was here obviously was careful not to track water, mud, like any sort of indicator into the house, and then, they left, leaving very little evidence behind. But yes, 2 people were taken from here.
These people are good, but not better than me.
Nice.
Bitches.
Not good at kidnap people.
Right? It offends you on a very basic level.
Not to.
All right then. I get like a satchel or a pillow cover or something. I just start dumping all the gross ass food into it, and I throw it out in the back alley. We get some rope out and we put it on that dog's collar. Does it have a tag?
It doesn't have a tag, just a collar.
Well, you know what we have to name him.
Is that a dog? Why is it quiet?
Jose?
Yes.
What was a long
Was
pause?
it seafood?
Of course. Because he's a little Jose.
He's sitting between the 2 of you at this point, just looking between the 2 of you, back and forth.
Jimena gets down.
Josecito Perito.
Good.
Josecito Perito.
It's gotta have the cadence. Okay.
He's
Your job here is done.
yeah. He looks a little emaciated for having been down his luck for a few days, but looks like a good runner. Looks like it might be like a courser. He's very he's one of those like lean long kind of dogs. Very long snout, long legs. If nursed back to health, that dog could probably sprint a good amount.
Is he big enough that he might be able to harry a human, or not quite that big?
No, not quite that big, and he's more fine. He doesn't have like a lot of muscle. He's like those dogs that they use for races,
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
like that.
So
Greyhounds are whippet.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah. But yeah, he's at this point like he's just like docilely.
I think him and Correo will have the same occupation in our organization. Yeah. Cool.
You hear little yips like periodically as you're petting him.
I lock up the windows, or at least brace them, and I brace the back door. Actually,
Right.
I stick my head out in the back alley. Are there any other like doors that face into the alley, or is there?
There's a few in the back alley. You see that the alley sort of curves like that, and there's a few houses in the same sort of model where there's like a back door that leads into the alley. The alley, pretty filthy. People are throwing all sorts of garbage and probably actual shit back there.
Yep.
So
Evine and Marilena.
Is not here.
She's not here. She's at
I'm in school.
sword
Yeah.
class.
Okay. Evine,
Mm-hmm.
is there anyone keeping closer watch on us right now than anyone else in the neighborhood? I'm gonna go ahead and roll just because I'm
Yep.
like, are there any blinds that stay open too long?
right.
Yeah. You want me to roll too?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
please do.
Doing me right. All right. What's in here? Doo-doo-doo. 3 and 2, so that's reroll. Cool. 3 raises for me, just to see if I pick up on anything.
Okay. Eugene.
Getting there.
Got a math.
Damn. So that is 10.
Wow.
I rolled like 3 10s when we got 3 rolls.
Yes. You see between dimensions, Evie.
You meet Fergus.
For a second, you see between dimensions, and you see an arrow traveling forward through time. Destination unknown.
Briefly, it points at whomever is our ultimate goal.
Yep. If you listen closely, the whistling of the arrow tells you how the world will end.
And what purple tastes like.
Oh, Gehenna. It's gonna be Gehenna because we only play White Wolf.
That's right. It's all White Wolf.
Yeah.
Everything is White Wolf.
You don't know what Gehenna is, sorry.
But you will. Your descendants will know.
That's right. They won't be into it. You do a spot check. Evine, people are avoiding looking into this back alley.
As hard as possible.
A lot of the shutters are closed, curtains closed. You see, like, at some point where you think is an old lady peek inside, and then she sees Rethold, and then, you know, she might as well have vanished for how fast she got the fuck out of Dodge. Like,
Sweet little old lady shaped out of smoke.
yep. Yeah, no, you get a sense almost immediately, like, yeah, these people don't want any trouble. That's
people seen some shit.
That's not a thing. But because you have such a good role, you can find multiple spots where people might have escapes from the rooftops, even carrying people. You see that it would be fairly easy to get up top from back here.
There's people that went for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not unlike those people that one time.
You were there.
Those people that
You
we
were there.
chased,
Oh,
that were all up on
Yes,
the roofs.
you
we got
murdered almost all of them.
But
Yeah, we let one get away.
Yep.
I forgot about them.
yeah, because I set that one guy on fire.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another one got eaten by a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all had
I ingest a lot of people.
They all had
Surprised
a
you
bad
guys are
time.
more concerned about me.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, just a lot
I
of
feel
people.
like every time
It was
it
never
happens,
all the
person when it
better, so you
happened.
can poop on priests.
Yeah.
you're always an animal when it happens, and it always happens like during combat. So it's like I'm busy trying to kill other people different
Yeah.
ways. So
Yeah. So Jimena cannot freak out appropriately.
She's really upset when like people die, but she's kind of a killer, guys.
Yeah. Well,
But are you really though? If you're
Yeah. I'm a bear at the time, or a
at the
wolf.
time,
I hope that you noticed the breakthrough you had where she yelled at a crow earlier
Yeah.
and was like, "Is that you?" Like she's starting to accept
Right.
it at this point. It's like, "Hey, weird bird that shits on priests. Are you my friend?"
that must be there.
Are you my friend? Yeah.
Are you? You have to tell me I don't speak crow.
Okay.
okay, I think you're you. Can you be you?
Yes. I mean, you have to realize how much of a breakthrough that is. You answered as a crow, and she was like, "Oh, okay."
I think boredom like overcame like
Yeah,
That seemed weirder.
Yeah.
I think
This shit happens.
human is getting to a point where it's just like, okay, like
there was just happening all around you now.
Yeah.
people control the weather. People turn into animals.
I'm both of those people.
I was about to say,
It's on me.
being her.
You
Tell
don't
me,
even want to
baby.
know what I do, so you
This
just
one disappears.
Maybe.
Right.
I set things on fire.
And yet there are worse people.
Right.
Um,
I am all these people.
but yeah, no, Brethel, same with you. You don't notice any
Looking
undue
through the air at
attention.
numbers and
In
angles
fact,
and geometry.
She turns into Tony Stark for a second.
yeah, that's right. Your vision like shows actual formula for a second. You're not quite sure what they are, but you're
It's
like,
that meme with all the
yep.
calculus happening.
You get shutter vision of a man like doing like free running up to the rooftop. Just
Mhm.
like all the frames like stay there as he hops up, and you're like, oh
Just like random slow motion bits.
my god. Yep, that's right.
All right,
And in
Marilena.
fast motion.
Who still isn't here?
I have your. Oh, sorry, Sally. I have your character's cover name.
okay.
Margarita, Benedetta, Angelica, Propetera.
Okay. Sure.
What is that?
I took out the Marta. I thought that was a little much.
It's changed.
I'm like, it couldn't have been longer than the Castilian one. I was like,
Yeah, that wouldn't have been appropriate.
I
similar.
don't even think that's as long as my actual name.
Tony,
because
a
it's-
man
it's
known
not.
for his
I think
restraint.
my actual name is not. Wait, what?
I said Tony, a man known for his
Put that
restraint.
shit on my tombstone.
Yeah, that's
Right.
exactly what I'd call
That
that.
wouldn't be too bad, because like there are some where I'm like no, it needs to be just right,
Yep,
just right.
just racist enough.
Yeah, just racist enough. Just,
I mean, this is this game.
just
Like it's
sexual
7C, just racist enough.
Yeah.
woke, but still racist.
You didn't say it wasn't.
Yeah, so
Okay.
anything you do with the house, you have a dog now.
Yeah.
That dog will not leave you.
He is the best.
Yeah, no, we
As long as he doesn't dig in my bushes.
I need a little bit of
That was the most like genuine, like Genya look like. What?
I don't want to have to kill the dog. Keep it out of my bushes. I love the creature.
Don't listen to her.
I don't want to have to eat it when you're not home.
Osito Perito will be a very good boy.
Restraint at work.
This is the word. This is the word. You have the word of Rethel.
Oh.
She's losing her shit over this dog.
I don't think she'll let him out of her sight for a moment, so
We
I think you're
found
safe.
something that she likes more than food?
Well,
She gave her food to the dog.
I know,
he
that's
doesn't
what-
have enough meat on his bones for her to eat him, so I think he's safe.
For now.
I would never eat this dog.
Never say never, but okay. I'm just saying, there are some scenarios where...
One time we were stuck on the.
Oh, don't listen to anything they're saying.
When I was in the military, we were stuck in the mountains.
She just takes the dogs and goes
We did
outside.
eat horse just last week together.
I forgot you left.
Can I scare you?
I was,
Who
yes,
is
a little
coming?
bit scared.
It's like, oh no.
Man is back.
Ghosts.
Amanda?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Tony?
Rocky.
Richard.
Scott.
What in the world?
Damn.
Lisa.
Sorry.
So proud. That's my name.
I don't like the idea of all this.
What was that noise?
That was Amanda.
It was hexadecimal.
The robot voice at the end just really sold it.
Oh my god.
You have built-in auto-tune.
I don't like the idea of us all in bell-bottom suit pants saying our names in front of a screen. That's
Well, if
weird.
that means there was a half-naked man there, I'm alright with that.
No, we have to have our mouse ears.
No, it was some movie where everyone was like saying each other's name,
Oh yeah.
but no one was saying that one person's name,
It's a
so
good
they were
shtick.
like me.
Solid shtick.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was though. I'm sure many movies have done this.
I guess I find I don't have. I mean, there's no more door,
No.
so
Build the door.
I.
Yeah, no.
You just stop and build the door. And then
This
just
door-
I rip up a piece
this-
of someone's fence and put it in place of the door.
This
Look
very
at the table.
modest house is not exposed
yeah.
to the elements.
There's not like a bunch of shit on the table. Like I pretty much just threw away everything that was on the table.
Basically.
Good thinking. So I
Prop the
just
table.
took the table and I like just prop it up there and be like, it's something. Because we're gonna find out who owned it originally, who owned it, and make it a new part of our property. Like, hey, no, let it go to waste.
That's right.
So now you're getting into real estate.
Oh, we'd already been into real estate, my friend. Like, that's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. I acquired something too.
Yeah, I'm like, you're a small. You are also a small business owner in town.
Yep.
Enterprising individuals. Stretch.
Yep. The noise summoned you beast.
Yeah, that's what I was going like.
The other one.
I was like,
there.
my beast is agitated too.
Shadows are down here.
Yeah, when I came in, I think she thought I was you because as soon as I walked in, she was like, and I went up there and she like looked at me for a second and was like,
You're not my
and
mother.
then she came up and was like,
It's just like, I
was
give up.
like, oh, bitches.
She gave you that good cat, like,
You
you fucker. Look.
You made me believe you.
Yeah,
were
like
my
she walked
mother.
into your room and like stopped and turned around and looked at me and was like, and I was like, I don't know what to give you or what you want. And she was just kind of like, ugh. I was like, your mom's
Everything.
here, I saw her.
Okay. She does exist.
Alright, so you prop the table there.
Yeah, and then from here to the Belafonte
Belafonte.
Belafonte estate. Yeah, like font.
Like
Fonte,
Harry
yeah.
Belafonte.
Nice. Are any of my Jose's on
I
the way
went
that I'm
to
aware of, or
Woman
no?
is smarter.
Probably a panache roll.
Everyone's a Jose if I want.
Right. We'll see.
If I try hard enough, just
What?
straight finish.
Yeah.
See what?
Sing.
No, I was singing a different one.
Oh,
Remember?
okay.
Yeah, hell,
I was doing the limbo first,
Yeah,
and then I changed it over to
rock your body in time.
the Beetlejuice song.
Ew. Okay.
What?
Can you hear her?
Yeah.
So happy.
11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, just shy. Just shy.
That happened to me last time we were playing, where I had like 2 14s and was like,
3 raises instead
Three
of 4.
raises on a straight panache
Just
roll.
on a straight finesse roll.
As you turn the corner, who is there running an errands but Jose Correa in between 2 tasks?
I just point at him.
He stops,
Jose!
skids to a stop, and he looks at you like, and slowly raises his arms to meet you.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, you can put those down. That's fine. What is your current task?
Oh, just carrying a message. We're going back to Inga's place. Just carrying correspondence.
Wonderful. There is a house at this address.
He actually like steps a little closer.
Yeah.
He's like, oh,
We need all the intel we can on this house because we'd like to acquire it and make it part of our owned property.
oh, that's in a sort of bad part of town, isn't it?
It's all about gentrification, Jose.
True, man.
He nods for about 30 seconds, and he's like, I don't know what that means.
There's nothing word
You know when you start wearing nicer boots and all your friends are like, we deserve nice boots. That's gentrification.
it's when you buy
Is that
cheap
what it
property
is?
and fix it up and then sell it at a higher price that no one in the neighborhood can actually afford. So then they all have to leave so you can get the people that can afford it. And then
Like the
everyone is
boots.
displaced.
Like the boots.
Yeah, I think I got the boots better. And
No, but also that.
he points at his
His
shiny,
boots.
fairly new boots.
Oh,
Don't let them take you on the price tag. Make sure they're good too, though.
I do a lot of running these days.
No, you need to make sure you get the support.
Yes.
Okay,
No, they're good.
all right.
And I understand that because,
Soft
my
sole.
friends are like, well, how can you afford, it's a thing.
No, yeah, you need to invest in yourself as well. Yeah, you get it. No, that's why you're good. That's
Right. Treat yourself.
why you're a Jose. Okay, so add that onto the roster. Leave that with Palabra at the office.
You got it, boss.
All right.
Is there really someone named Palabra?
Also,
That's his-
this is
he's
this
one
is
of those days.
Josito Perito.
Josecito.
Thank you. Gesundheit.
We found a dog, so he's Josecito.
I threatened to eat it if it died in my bushes.
That's what she said.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh, I got it.
That's what I said earlier, and then
played.
she got mad at me.
This game has a lot of
She
bush
said it with a
talk.
question mark.
Hello, welcome to Bush Talk.
Yeah.
Discuss.
Well,
Welcome to
have
Bush
one more
Cast.
kid, so,
Love
you
my
know,
sweaty
it's not to do
balls.
right
Welcome
now.
to
You're sweaty balls,
the
yeah.
salty balls. They're gonna be-
I love the way your sweaty balls taste now.
Bella, Bella,
That-
Bella.
Oh,
That's
oh,
sketch, is
oh.
it? Oh, there
Dead
it is.
ass.
You're gonna
Oh,
There's
there's
that
a shrimp.
Yep. right on camera.
No.
Right on camera.
It's the business end.
It is the
Because
business.
that's where you get the business.
Come on, babe. Make it stop.
Right on display.
It's like
so
So-
after a brief introduction to Josecito,
Josecito Perito.
Yes.
thank you. He's on his way, and
Yes.
yes, I've given all the Jose's
Titles.
not Christian names. Yeah, like Baptist.
Surnames.
I've given them all surnames, so
Yeah.
that we can differentiate which Jose's are which and what they're doing in our organization.
They're fully defined by their role
So
in the
we know which
organization.
one we're talking about.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So this one is Jose Correo.
He's our runner.
He's a courier.
Yeah. There's a Jose Espada.
Jose Luis.
I think we're gonna put him to work soon.
And there's Jose Luis, who's
Hombre Mendez. He's part of the family.
He's the convert.
Yeah. And then there's also Jose Marinero, who works on the docks.
There's a new movie coming out with Mia
Wasikowska.
thank you, called Judy and Punch.
Oh.
Instead of Punch and Judy.
Yes, and I'm very curious about this. So I've had enough of your quizzes now. Thank you.
Okay. There's a statement.
Can anybody have?
Well, it's after we see Jojo Rabbit, and after we see Jay and Silent Bob reboot, because I want to see that.
Marlena, as this is happening, you're getting some good knife training. Up close and personal. The lady basically shows you how you can use your knife to get somebody even closer
Alright.
by basically pulling them towards you. It's like this is where you're dangerous.
It's like kind of homoerotic, kind of.
Oh yeah. No,
You know.
it's
Just erotic.
Yeah. She, but it's brutal. You get some bruises from it, which doesn't help the erotic theme here.
For most people.
Yeah. But yeah, after a while, you're ready to pack up and go home.
Alright.
Are you guys? So are you gonna?
Oh, we need to stop by there.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually stop. Like, I would stop by the shop if I don't see anyone.
Oh
on
no,
the way.
we would wait outside like those friends who dropped out of school and wait for you out in the parking lot.
Yeah, they're out there smoking cigarettes, waiting for you to come out.
Listening to the rock music out of the one guy's car
Yep.
because no one else can afford a car, so they all hang out with the one guy with the car.
Yep.
Oh, God, it's
And
real.
we're gonna be a bad influence and help you stay out all night
Yeah.
Mm.
instead of going home and doing your homework.
Marilena, they all have mullets now somehow.
I just
Check
want
out
to see
this
a new style.
sweet band T-shirt with the sleeves ripped off.
Yep.
You don't even know the band, actually.
Metallica, Ride the Lightning.
Oh, absolutely. Heavily.
Okay, well, you would know that one.
Or Leonard Skinner.
Skinner.
So it's a double R, so it'd be Peggy.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, you see this jaunty band waiting for you right after school.
Here, smoke this.
Hey,
I think
what
it's
is
actually
it?
just oregano, but
Why?
like,
It's petting me. I can go
We're going to the Aerosmith concert.
that's right.
So yeah, I've totally got like knives strapped to me and stuff.
Yeah.
I look like I broke a sweat and probably have some bruises on me.
Yeah.
I like this look on you. You look comfortable.
I narrow my eyes.
Well, I've been
Oh,
learning.
you get a glare from Jenya.
Oh, this is just practice. It gets very close and personal.
Okay.
That's what she said.
It is indeed.
Right?
Oh,
Think of your husband.
I think she does sometimes.
I do.
How scandalous.
Wait till she shows him.
Well, what I can do now. I mean, I have no idea if I'm ever seeing him again. To be perfectly honest.
What's that?
Be dead.
What was that?
No,
No, she's leaving.
No,
She's leaving.
no, where are you going?
She's leaving. The way little back legs just sort of
Right.
dripped off.
So it is getting later, late afternoon, early evening. Are you planning a hook by?
Do you have the dog with you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
introduced
yeah,
the
no.
dog.
I meet the dog.
Yes,
I meet the dog.
it's a very good boy.
Yeah.
Things are
He's
happening.
the best boy.
Yeah.
He is indeed.
He looks very like that dog looks a little doofy right now because like he's probably a little delirious and
You've
he's
carried that dog.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that we picked up that dog several times.
He's not exactly sure
She's
what's
a-
happening to
she's a
him
skeptic,
anymore.
But her
Aw.
channel is like she wants to go. She wants a series.
So yeah, so once
she's
we
like, there-
once we
this
meet
is
the dog.
She did this series last year.
yeah, we're like
And
Are
she
you
did
hooking
this
by
year,
the
and she's like,
hoity-toity
this is actually the first time something happened that I
quarters
literally
to
cannot
go
explain.
see that mansion?
oh yeah, we're going to go. We might get some more bruises. Let's go see.
Good thing I'm equipped.
Yeah. So yeah, we head up to Via Bevante.
Yeah. So
Wait,
I-
where were you last time?
And I got a very
You
super-
weren't at Via.
no,
Oh.
And I was
No,
like,
I was at the Via
did.
where the
he was at
but this-
I was at the
didn't
Via
live
where the
there.
party's going to be,
Didn't live there.
which
Yeah.
is a different
I'm
Via.
probably gonna get
Yeah.
more.
The one where the party was gonna be had the dog?
No.
No.
Pissed.
they went. They
Okay.
They're not paying attention.
So,
There's too many Vias!
no, so this morning I went to work at the Via where the party's
You
going
went
to
to
be.
work.
Okay,
Yeah.
got that.
Right. And then they all came to find me after work, and we then went to go find this person's house.
The one that disappeared.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had the dog.
Yes.
We saved the dog.
That's one of the pieces of conversation that Evine had picked up when she was listening in.
Yeah, I wrote
From-
that part down. I just did
From the
didn't.
priest Zhenya Shidon.
Yeah, no, yes. And it was not.
There we go. That's what we're looking for.
That place was not a villa by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay.
It is to the people who live there. Oh, hello.
Sudden cat.
Oh, sorry.
So say sounds like a very interesting disease.
Evine, we're getting close to our time, huh? All right.
This is the warning.
So you head to the
Did you
villa.
I did, thank you.
As you go to this part of town, I mean, it is in. You get past like sort of the merchant quarters to.
That's not for you. Everything.
Oh, is Cat gonna play with dice? Put this one right there.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know you wanna.
Expect
She's
everything.
like, I gotta
from
come
this.
to the
That's probably not
Gotta
safe.
get the book. That book is bullshit.
So we go through the merchant quarters.
Yeah, so you get actually through the merchant quarters
That's
to
right,
like
don't sit on dad stuff.
the even more affluent
Sit.
quarters.
Yes.
There it is, perfect.
Just to inspect everything that's on her
Yes.
table.
Oh my god.
Will you come to
And
assist?
around the.
Yes. Come in.
Come into my office.
Yeah.
Oh,
Please,
it's
have
her,
a seat.
It's her DM screen now.
At least that piece.
I have to say, John is terribly giddy about this. Hello?
Yeah.
Would you get a sitting cat?
It's the fang.
He's rubbing against the screen.
Your husband is super happy right now.
Yeah.
Go look.
I have help.
You have his blessing.
It's like, no, I'm good right here, though. I'm gonna knock this over.
What are you doing?
So we're going
Through the merchant quarter and then into the more affluent
Yeah.
section.
So
Okay.
there's like big houses here. Nobility primarily. People born into money live in these quarters. Yes, come here to work.
Still there, Rabbit?
Yeah. But fading.
Okay, because Bella
There-
stepped on the laptop, so that's what I was making sure.
I'm bringing this to a close. Evening. Fantastic. This is great.
Can you see her
Yeah,
on the
no, that's
Are you seeing this
right
shit?
there. Right in the middle.
Holy shit.
Just set up at this angle, and it's great.
Aw.
What's up, guys?
That's right.
You put her down, Cat. You.
weird.
So there's definitely more guard patrols as you get into this part of town. Not really Prophet Sword, but city guard sort of patrolling the streets, and you're like, oh yeah, like these are rich people. They care if something happens to them.
Mm,
And you finally get to the address, and you see that it's a 14.0 address. 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 14.0 of this villa, there's a big wrought iron gate, and there's a lot sort of happening on the other side. Like you see, there's a big carriage. There's like people sort of furniture. You hear multiple people talking inside the carriage. Like you see that there's mercenaries on the ground, sort of like keeping watch. There's servants sort of going about, organizing a lot of things. There's a man comes out looking very dapper, wearing a long coat.
I kneel down and like start taking off my boot and like trying to start shaking it out, and I'm just milking this fucking boot bit.
Oh yes, that fucking boot will not walk right.
Oh yeah, no, it's always got stones in it. I don't know how to get stones in it.
If you get Evie to help you, like there's like about like 20 pounds of stones that sort of come out of there.
Matushka put stones in your shoes if you don't wash behind your ears.
Well, that might explain it, because I don't.
Evie can probably slay a hand that so that every time you tap, like 3-4 rocks come out of your boot.
Mm-hmm.
We'll repave the street.
So wait, remind me, what are we supposed to be doing here?
First, we're casing the joint, and then we're going to murder everyone.
Yes. Well,
Maybe, we'll
we're
see.
I want to read Dapper.
We're
Dave
gonna
then.
close. We're gonna close for this week, but you see this very dapper gentleman sort of come out. Like he stretches as he comes out. His coat is probably worth an inordinate amount of money. It's so floofy, embroidered in gold.
It's so floofy.
He extends a hand inside the cart, and a beautiful lady comes out, dark-haired, statuesque. She's tall-ish, but she's wearing like a dark blue dress, and she sort of comes out. And following her, Jenny, roll me a wits plus notice.
Does anyone have a hero point they could give me?
I mean, I have like 6.
If you would like to know her true name, I can do that, but I am out.
I haven't been getting that many lately.
We will hold that thought until the next session.
Oh, okay.
I can only remember 1. Is it 1 for each set of 3 that I have?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Woohoo!
Yeah, if you have 3 dots and anything, you can reroll 1 die. So.
3.
Okay. So the two that just came out, like obviously they're talking to each other
Yeah,
and they're
pretty
exchanging pleasantries, right, and laughing very daintily, and they're talking to a third person who is inside the cart. You don't recognize the voice, but when she steps out, your heart just sings, "It's your sister."
Someone gotta stop her. She gonna fucking bull rush that shit.
But you don't recognize the voice.
Because the thing isn't.
And just the pure look of horror.
She's dressed in a very pretty dress, and she's coming down and she's calling them Mommy and Daddy. And then we will reconvene next time. Ajenya probably flies into a berserker rage.
No. Not even anything left.
Zoom in on
She's
her.
like, are you sure? Let me find out.
Will they stop her?
I mean,
It's like literally going on a fucking rampage.
Say goodnight, Internet.
Good night, Internet.